Hey guys. Yeah, I just want to do a little maintenance one-on-one with you guys regarding knowing your worth. So, if you've been just getting started in the maintenance field, apartment maintenance general, if you're just getting started in it, you're gonna have your years of lumping. Years that you're gonna have to be the guy who takes trash out. You know what I'm saying? But for us guys who've been around the field for a while, we know what we're doing. You got your HVAC certificate, and I'm not talking about running down to your local HVAC supplier and getting a certificate saying that you can, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking, I went to college for it. I'm not saying everybody's going to go to college for it. But if you got some time in on HVAC, you're worth your money, you know. If you got some skills, you know how to do drywall, you know how to do electrical, and I'm not talking about just replacing an outlet. I mean, you know electrical. You can chase down a problem and it not take you 8 hours. HVAC, and you can go out and diagnose an HVAC real quick or a furnace and resolve the problem fairly quick, fairly inexpensively, without having to call contractor. Because a lot of guys will say, oh, we got to call contractor. Well, see, that's your job. Your job is to fix stuff. Some days we have just routine, change the light bulb, pick up grounds, fix little stuff. I mean, I've had days where that's all I did was walk around and replace light bulbs. I'm not joking too. But I just want to give you just talk about it for a minute. When it comes to this field, the management companies, they treat you like crap. They want to own you, give you the feeling as if, your life outside that job don't matter, But that's the problem. The problem is you need to know you clock in at 8 or whatever. You clock out at 5 or whatever. That's where it stops. You've got to have a mindset of, man, I get off at 5 o'clock. You can't take this stuff home with you. If you start taking it home with you, you start dragging yourself down. And then you start sitting around and get all upset and stressed out about the job, man. You clock out at 5 o'clock, you go home. I mean, it's bad enough that that we're on call and the manager thinks that they can send you out to do anything. Know your limits, man. I set my limits right off the bat. I tell them what I can do and what I can do. One thing I won't do, I don't go up ladders. Anything over 12 foot, forget it, ain't happening. My safety's more important than them. That's the other thing. You gotta understand that, if your boss asks you to, you're gonna have to swap that refrigerator out and you're all by yourself, no, don't do it. You say you're gonna have to call somebody to help me move this refrigerator or a stove or anything. If it's up and down a flight of stairs, man, don't do it. Because if you get hurt on the job, yeah, you can get workman's comp for a minute. But if you hurt your back where you can't function anymore, they'll replace you. You think that workman's comp's gonna hurt them? That's what they pay for. They pay for that. I worked with a guy one time, tell you a story. Worked with a guy one time, older guy. And he did some stupid crap, and it was his own doing, but he fell going up a flight of stairs and cracked his skull. And because of that, he says, he lost his equilibrium. He gets sick going up a little 2-foot ladder or whatever. Anyways, a long story. He fought with workman's comp, and he still works for the company. And they finally paid him off after 5 years. They paid him $50,000. That's a permanent injury. Permanent. Now he's unemployed. that $50,000 didn't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to know your worth, man, when it comes to these jobs. Know your limits, stick to your guns, man. You can't let them, you know, oh, well, you've got to go do the painting, and you've got to do the cleaning, and you've got to do the turn, blah, 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 blah. But they only want to pay you like 15, 16 bucks an hour. See, that's where you got to know your limits, man. If they want to pay you between, I don't know, because everybody's different, everybody's in a different scenario. But if they want to pay you like, between, say, 15 to 20 bucks an hour, and they want to own you, treat you like crap, I don't mean that, but as in treat you like crap, as in, what I mean by that is they want you to do everything. I want you to go out there and sweep the parking lot, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Know your worth, man. I'm not saying be a prick about it. I'm just saying, you got to know your worth. So anyways, so I've been in this field for 32 years. I used to own my own company, but the housing crunch took me out. But that's how I got back into apartment maintenance. I, you know, hard times, man. You know, housing crunch back in '08 took me out. I had to get back into something. I had to feed the family, so I got back into apartment maintenance. And it's been a rough road, man. You know, I don't let these companies own me. You don't own me. I clock out at 5 o'clock, you know. But you start shortchanging me, you know, like with bonuses. You start lying to me, I'm gone, man. Or you not wanting to fix the property because you want to claim a bonus at the end of the month. That's what I'm running into now with this company I work for. The manager, she don't want to fix nothing because she wants to put a bonus in her pocket. You know, I got a gutter hanging off of a 2-story building for a year. You know, she'll pay to have the gutters cleaned out, but I'll have to pay to fix that. I'm gone. She tried to push it on me as I was going to start painting the apartments and stuff, and I'm like, no, that's not my job title. Know your job title too. You know, when they give you that, this is your list of responsibilities, you can define, you can ask for a definition of that, because, you know, in there sometimes it'll say painting. Well, you want that definition out. You're not turning an apartment. You're not painting an apartment. You may do some touch-up paints, or if you got a breezeway or something like that, hey man, that we need to kind of clean this up a little bit and paint it. You know, that's not a big deal. But when they want you to go in and they want you to paint the apartment, which is a contracted job, see, that's putting money in the manager's pocket. You get paid 8 hours. That's it. You don't get paid nothing else for that. So you really got to know, you got to stand your ground on some stuff. You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, on a day for an interview or the day you go in to fill out your paperwork for the job, you know, you tell them, look, you know, your job description says, hey, I'm supposed to be doing, you know, under my job description it has painting there. But is this painting the apartment or just touch-up paints? The manager says touch-up paint. You ask them to write touch-up paint on that and sign it. That holds them accountable. You know, I mean, it's bad enough, dude. We gotta pick up the trash out of the parking lot. We gotta pick up the trash around the dumpsters. You know, we gotta trash out an apartment. You know, and do all the work orders and plunge their toilets and pick up the grounds off. You know, pick up the grounds, and they, you know, it gives you that sense of you just go do it. You're gonna do everything they tell you to do. Well, you gotta stand your ground. Know your job, man. Know your job and do it good. That's the other thing about this. When you're in apartment maintenance, you know, the tenant, I never treat a tenant as a tenant. I treat them as customers. This is their living environment. This is where they live. This is where they raise their kids. This is where, you know, they find their first girlfriend or first boyfriend, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is their home. anything through that door is their home. You know what I mean? So when you go out to do a work order, you know, I've seen a lot of people get frustrated and just, I'm not freaking, you know, I'm not calling them, I'm not telling them I'm coming, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to fix stuff. You know, some people don't want you in their apartment unless they're there. Man, that's their home. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect the people. Even though you don't like them, or you may not like them, or you think they're dirty, doesn't matter. That's their home, man. When you take that away from somebody, that you can just walk in and do what you want, man, that ruins somebody. You know, that ruins their sense of security. That's why when I go to do a work order, I bang real hard on that door. I bang 3 times. I listen real hard to see if I hear anybody before I key in. And I don't open that door all the way. I just crack that door open enough where I'm able to yell into the apartment. Because they may have a fan going on. They may have the bedroom door shut. You never know, man. That's the other reason why I started carrying a GoPro with me all the time. So that way I go do a work order, click it on at the door. They see me knocking, the whole 9 yards. I record when I'm in the apartment and when I go out and lock the door. Now, of course, I delete 90% of those videos. But you just got to be mindful of tenants, man. So when you're in doing somebody's work order, say somebody's got a light switch ain't working, you know, you got to make sure you do that job and do it safely, appropriately, and clean up after yourself. Make sure the lights, everything's put back together, everything's working right. You know, communicate with the tenant, letting them know, hey man, because a lot of mine with where I'm at now, everything's via email and text, and work orders are on my cell phone. So when I get done, I can simply just hit the tenant's name, and then I can send them a text message letting them know, hey man, everything's good to go, have a great day, fix your light, whatever it is, you know. That makes the tenant feel like you care, you know. You're not just another work order. But also the system, once I close out a work order, it sends them a reply letting them know, hey, your work order is completed by such and such. I love this thing, man. Tumbler. I love it. I always carry iced tea in this, and it'll hold, and there's no ice in it. It's just out of my refrigerator. But it'll keep that temperature good half a day. Because I left it in the hot car with the windows rolled up for half a day and it was still cold. It's still a peer though. When you shut it, it'll shoot water up at you. Anyway. So the other thing is, man, when it comes to tools, you know, it's not the company's responsibility to make sure you got your tools. So what I used to do when I first got back into maintenance, what I would do is every paycheck, you know, I didn't make a lot of money then, but every paycheck I'd set aside like 25, 30 bucks a paycheck. And then when I got a couple $100 saved up, you know, I'd go upgrade a tool, maybe upgrade a drill, maybe upgrade a, you know, a wire, you know, a tester or something like that. Something that makes my job a little bit easier, a little bit more professional. Especially when once I got out of HVAC school, man, it took me a long time. Because you know this stuff is expensive. Just for instance, man, a recovery unit or a recovery machine, man, it's like $700-800 for one of those. I own my own tools, you know, by the grace of God. I got all my HVAC tools. I bought and paid for those myself. I did it to make my job easier, not to save them money, but it makes my job easier, especially when I'm doing these rooftops. But so I don't want to have to sit up on that roof for, you know, 6-7 hours or an air conditioner. But so you gotta provide your own tools. Some companies, there are some of the bigger outfits that you can actually buy a tool through. Say for us, you know, here in Ohio, we have HD Supply. And that's where we order all of our parts through. And they have a whole line of tools and stuff in there. But you can actually talk to your manager, and if you need, say for instance, you need a new drill, you can actually, some companies will let you purchase those drills, and then they deduct so much from your paycheck. But of course, you're not going to start day one and say, hey man, I need a drill. That ain't going to happen. You can also get on like Marketplace, or Craigslist. I don't really care for Craigslist, but Facebook Marketplace, they have, usually you can find something in your area that's reasonable, you know. Like for instance, I just got that new vacuum machine. That's $240, man. I paid for a $440 machine, and it worked great. Thank God. It could have been a bad one. You never know. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over a couple things with you on that stuff. You know, when it comes to drywall work, you know, you're getting paid to learn how to freaking do it right. You know, once you get the drywall down, even if it's just a small patch, you know, there's easy, quick tricks to that stuff. You don't have to get all expensive or extensive as far as cutting drywall out and squaring it up. Do it like I do, man. I foam the hole, let it sit overnight, come back the next day. The hole's already there, man. You know, you're working on it. You know, so a drywall patch is easy stuff, man, because you can foam that hole in, come back the next day, cut it flat, put a coat of mud on it, come back the next day, put another coat on it. So you can draw that stuff out for 4 days if you want to, or you can do it in 2 days. It can be done. But anyways, when it comes to just a little trick for you. When it comes to drywall patches, man, if you got a little spot like that, man, that ain't nothing. But if you got a big spot like that one I just did behind that door, that guy put his hand through it. When you get done with that, you want to put 2 coats of primer on that. You want a nap roller, a decent nap, no smooth roller, nap roller, and put 2 heavy coats of paint on that, or primer. Okay, let that dry for a couple hours, and then come back and put 2 coats. You want at least 2 to 3 coats of paint on that with a nap roller. The reason why is because these walls they have a texture. It didn't come from the factory with that texture. That's years and years and years of people putting paint on that wall with a nap roller, or a roller, period. But so if you have a drywall spot and you fix that, and you sand it down and you paint it, it's gonna be baby freaking smooth, and people are gonna see that. You know, they see that the wall has been repaired. But if you take your time, man, I always carry a fan with me or a blower with me. You sit the blower down, roll a coat of paint on it, take a break, man. Just give it 10 minutes. Hit it again. Wait another 10 minutes. Put a coat of paint on it. It's literally will dry that quick. But that way you can just make, you want to do a really good job on stuff like that. You know, make sure your door stops are in there so you don't have the hole punches in the wall. Anyways, try to think of. So anyways, the whole thing about this video is I just want to kind of go over a couple things with you, you know, and give you some pointers on knowing your worth. The reason why is because I've worked for every major apartment maintenance company in the city of Dayton, Ohio. And I know them all like the back of my hand. They're all about hurry up and get it done, hurry up and get it done, hurry up and get it done, you know. But I don't do that. I do it right the first time. That way I ain't got to come back. No one's going to come back and refix my stuff, you know. And I take good pride in my work. But the big picture here on this is that the last 3 jobs I've had them for exactly 1 year. Because I started with a company, I fill them out, I get to know the property really well, I, you know, go over the maintenance shop, redo it, clean it up, straighten it up, and then after about 4 months, you start getting a feel for how the managers are running the property. You know, are they, you know, walking the properties? Are they walking the turns? Is somebody going behind you and checking your work? You know, stuff like that. When you got a property, man, that they don't even want to invest the money in the property, but yet they want you to hurry up and get stuff done, that's the reason why they are where they are. Because they don't care. And that's what's happened with me here at this job. At this complex here. The manager's been here for 7 years. She acts like this is her first day to work. You know, the hallways were never painted. They haven't been painted in 7 or 8 years. I went through and painted 3 of the buildings, the hallways, during the wintertime. I didn't really have a lot of work, but I went ahead. I wanted the tenants to have a good product. I have a good home to come to, you know. They were nasty, man. They were nasty. And, you know, when you ask the manager to take care of some gutters, and she blows it off because she don't want to pay a contractor. And we have some issues with the hallways not getting cleaned. It's just, you know, I'm not better than, but I don't have to put up with it. If I can't get my property manager to discuss cleaning the hallways or cleaning the buildings or addressing a problem that has to be addressed that's out of my hands, if I can't get that taken care of, there's no future in the property. There's nothing there, because all she is about is the money. And that's why you really gotta guide yourself. You gotta, you know, you have to work with it. You know, some properties are just, man, we're tight. But if the manager comes to you and just says, look, man, we're only allowed to spend $300 this month. You know what I mean? That's not her fault, but she's communicating. But then again, like I said, if you get a property manager that's like, no, we can't buy that, we can't do this, but you know they got the funds, you know, they just don't want to spend the money because she's getting a bonus every month. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to feel your way. You know, like I said, I've been doing this for 32 years in this field. You kind of have to feel your way through this apartment complexes. Know your managers, know your maintenance. You know, if you go to maintenance shop day one, I never start a job in maintenance, never, without seeing a maintenance shop first. If I go in for an interview, this shocks them every time. If I go in for an interview to work at a complex, I want to see two things. I want to see a vacant, and I want to see the maintenance shop. Well, actually, now I take it back. Three things. I want to see a vacant, I want to see a turned unit, and I want to see the maintenance shop. Because the maintenance shop will tell me 1,000 things about the property. If it's completely cluttered, there's just junk laying everywhere, no organization skills whatsoever, that's a bad complex to be at. Because if you're by yourself, that means you've got to clean this up, and the manager don't care what the maintenance shop looks like. Or if you work at a bigger complex where there's a supervisor, well, that supervisor doesn't care. He is disorganized, and he's not going to be able to keep up with nothing. And that's why you're there. So you kind of have to fill it out. There is nothing wrong. Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with going to the job interview and asking to look at the maintenance shop. There's nothing wrong with that. You know? Nothing. And if they refuse to let you look at the maintenance shop, walk away. You know? They're hiding something. If they don't want to let you see where you're going to be working at and what you're going to be working in, walk away. That's a bad place to work at. It may be the best company in the world, but if they're going to hide stuff like that from you, you know, then it's not worth taking your time. Because, man, you're investing yourself. Everything you know, your tools, your time, you're investing yourself into that property. That's how you got to look at the big picture. Whether or not you want to invest yourself into that property, you know. Especially if you want to see the maintenance shop and they say, we don't have a maintenance shop. That's a bigger problem. Or the maintenance shop is in the office. That's the problem. That's a real tiny little place. Anyways, can't think of anything else right in a second. But anyway, so another thing about this is that I've been here. I dedicated myself to this property for a year, and I got a new job at another complex. It's about 30 miles away, or 30 minutes away. It's in another town, and I'm going to take it. I'll take you guys right along with me. And this is it's a 138 unit complex. It is apartment complex, not like this. This is just a bunch of buildings that they have acquired over the years. But this is a complex. It's got a swimming pool. It's got a dog park. Figured they'd hear that. You know, it's a little bit more money on the hour. Plus, I get a free apartment. I don't have to pay rent. So that's a win-win-win chicken dinner. You know what I'm saying? But I'm starting all over from scratch. The manager's only been there 3 weeks. She's new. I think she's even new to the company. But yeah, I know she is because the regional was there when I met her, training her. So we're gonna be starting all over fresh. At least this scenario is that me and her are starting fresh at this property. So, and I did see the property. I showed up early at the interview and I drove the property, looked at the buildings, looked at the conditions of the grounds. And then after the interview, I wanted that she let me see the shop, which is a little bit bigger than what I got now. And it's underneath the office. It's actually, you know, it's a 2-story office. But the complex I'm going to now, it's ranch style apartments, or townhomes, which is fine, perfect. Because if you think about it, ranch style or townhomes, all my mechanicals are downstairs. The only thing I go upstairs for is a bathtub. That's about it. So unlike here, where this is 3-story apartment buildings that I have to run up and down these stairs all day long, it's killing my back. But anyways, I think it's going to be a good adventure. It's going to be a pain because I got to move again. We got the movers coming this Friday. What's coming up Friday? Saturday. But I'm going to have them move all my stuff. It's going to cost me a little extra, but I'm going to have them load up my tools too, because everything I own is going in the apartment. My tools, the shop is going to go in the apartment for now until I get a minute to kind of straighten it up. So anyway, so hey, you know, if you got any questions about apartment maintenance, you know, feel free to send me a message on that, and we'll get on with the next thing in life and go from there. Yeah, I just want to do an update. I watched the video, and I just wanted to add one more little thing to that. When it comes to doing apartment maintenance, you know, one question is I always ask you what kind of vehicle you drive. You know, they want to fill you out, see if you got a pickup truck. You know, they want to know if you got a truck so you can haul shit around for them. No. Okay. The other thing about doing apartment maintenance is they always want you to go fetch something, you know, or need you to go trash out this apartment and throw it in the back of your truck, and we need to go get a refrigerator or move a refrigerator around or something like that, right? Well, that's a problem because that's your vehicle. That's your vehicle. It's not the company's vehicle. They are not paying you because you got a truck. You know what I'm saying? So when you're working for an apartment complex and you got a truck and they're like, well, we need you to go get this and load it up and, you know, go get drywall or go get this. No, that's your truck. Now, you know, like with me, I have a little Dodge Dakota. It's a beater truck. Yeah, that's my truck. You know, if you want me to go get something, that's my prerogative whether or not I want to do it. You know, you don't own that truck. That's my truck. You're paying for mileage. You're paying what, 50 cents a mile? Some companies pay a little less. Most of them do. But even though they're paying you for mileage, that doesn't mean that that's their truck, man. Because they're only paying you for, you know, your gas mileage, which most of the time it doesn't even cover your gas mileage. With me, I got blessed because I got a little Kia Soul that I run around in. Perfect for apartment maintenance. Good on gas mileage. But anyways, when it comes to truck, you don't have to use your truck. You know, that's your prerogative whether or not you do it. Because, say for instance, this is a scenario. Okay, I need 3 sheets of green board to redo a bathtub. You know, so I went to the because they kind of pissed me off on some other things. So I went to the manager and said, well, I need 3 sheets of drywall, you know, green board for this bathtub. And she goes, well, can you get it at Lowe's? I said, sure can. You're gonna have to order that, have it delivered. You know, they started asking me to use my truck. I said, nope, my truck's not for use. It's my truck. I'm not going to get in drywall. Now, they'll give you that fear factor, like they're going to fire you because you didn't do your job. I'll see you in court. You got to stand your ground on this shit. Stella, Hush. Damn. Somebody's cross street, so she got to run her mouth. Anyways, yeah, so if they threaten you that you could lose your job because you're not using your truck, stand your ground, man. You got to stand your ground on that, because that's your vehicle, you know. That's not their property, you know. Now you can be cool about it, you know. It's each his own. Okay. Here's a perfect example. We hired a maintenance guy for the other property, right? We did the vesting, you know, and check him out, whatever. And he seemed to know what he's doing. Big liar. Dude didn't do shit, right? And on top of that, day one, he went out and bought a brand new 2022 freaking Tacoma. Brand new. I was like, that's cool. Dude refused to move anything with his truck. He had the balls to call me up and ask me if I would bring my truck over, load up the snowblower and take it to the other side of the property so that he could clean the sidewalk off. I said, are you serious? You want me to come over and look? I said, what's wrong with your truck? Well, I'm not putting that in my truck. All right, you have a good day. Get busy shoveling, buddy. You know, I understand this concept. It's his truck, man. He don't have to do that. But it makes his job hard because he had to go over there and hand shovel that freaking sidewalk. That was a job, bud, let me tell you. So anyways, stand your ground, man, when it comes to your own vehicle, your personal vehicle. You know, that vehicle's used, you use it to get back and forth to work. And a lot of us will use our personal vehicle to run maintenance. My main reason is because it's got freaking air conditioning and I can sit in my car, you know, and chill out for a little bit if I want to. You know, and it makes my job easier, you know. But most properties, bigger properties, have golf carts. So, you know, you can, you know, discuss with them on day of hiring, what are you paying me for gas mileage? And if they say, well, we'll pay you 20 cents a mile. Nope, see ya. Not using my car. I'll walk. I've done it. Pissed them off, but I did it. But anyways, I just wanted to add that to this video. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit.